What good YouTubeites? I hope you guys are not sick of seeing me yet again, but I promise you guys I'd go live as soon as just wait for you guys to join. It's 5 o'clock. I got a Ezra Miller scoop for you. I'm gonna wait for you guys to get in here. I want to get this done as quick as possible so I can get ready for our 6 o'clock show. Share this on the interwebs. Guys, hang tight. I'll be there in a second. Shout out to Victoria Pagic. Did I say that right this time? Matt Forge Comics, Marco 808, OZ Rally 04, Sam Doodle. Hey, you guys sick of time to see me yet? You guys gonna see us again at 6 when I got my fellow Lords Alarm box with me. So if you guys just bear with me, I'll get you to this point. I will give you the build up. Oh my, I wasn't supposed to touch my face. You know when somebody tells you not to touch your face, what's the first thing you do? You touch your face. If any of you have ever gotten an MRI, and I'm talking the scary kind where you neck head first and or you forget. I've had my shoulder MRI, and I have an elbow MRI before. I used to play a lot of sports and work out a lot, so I have a lot of like shoulder bone spurs and elbow shoulder surgery, and they put you in head first. And as soon as you get in, I don't know if you've been in an MRI show. It's awful if you have it's awful if you have claustrophobia, which I didn't know I had till I was in my old age, to be honest with you. I didn't know I had it. So as soon as you get in there, they go, all right, don't move. And the first thing you want to do is move, and you want to touch your face, and you can't. It's awful. But all right. So if you guys haven't, PAGAC, I thought I said it right. Sorry, Victoria. Victoria holding down for the females in the house. So if you haven't been paying attention, there's anything that happens right now in this news cycle, people are going to jump all over it. Now, I'm not saying that this wouldn't have been news. It was celebrities at home, but it definitely made the rounds. If you don't know, and I'm not going to show the video here because, I think it's disgusting. There was a video that surfaced of Ezra Miller apparently assaulting a woman in Iceland. Now, it seemed like they were drunk and they were playing around and things of that nature, but I'm not going to go into that. But a variety is reporting on it. Hollywood Reporter's reporting on it. The people that were at the hotel in Iceland are reporting on it. Apparently, Ezra Miller was really drunk, and he was playing with a woman, and then said, look at all my scars. I've been in a lot of fights you want to see, and you guys can look up the video for yourself. But the authenticity of the video has no longer been debated. It is real. The sources have come out and said it. The Hollywood Reporter is looking at it. All the major trades have looked at it, and they authenticated and said, yes, it is real. So now there has to be the outrage and everything else. I don't know if you know this about Ezra Miller, but he's had somewhat of a history. He's been arrested a couple times for, I think, some like soft drug charges. When I say soft drugs, I mean like he got busted for like weed back in like 2012 or something like that. But there's also been some interesting things. The former director of Flash, if you know him, the movie has been in development for a good, I don't know, 17 years now. I'm just kidding. But they've gone through, this is, I think, the third directors and writers for it. Yesterday, video dropped. One of the former directors, the guy, the younger cat who directed that movie, what it was called. I looked it up yesterday. But he's pretty sure he subtweeted. If you don't know what a subtweet is when you about somebody else or something else indirectly. In other words, you're not saying at this person or him, but yesterday he tweeted out creative differences, and that's all he put. And the reason why they left the project was creative differences with Ezra Miller, who a lot of people have come out and said that Ezra Miller is a difficult person to work with. So there's that. So I'm just saying, I'm just laying out the history of this guy. And also some questions about the video that was posted earlier. Some people on Twitter asked me about it, about the New Mutants coming out on Disney Plus. It was brought up to my attention that HBO has a deal where they have first rights to stream any Fox properties. This was prior to Disney buying them. And I would say here the loophole is, yes, that is true. If you saw Dark Phoenix after its theatrical run, it premiered on HBO first, as well as on demand, meaning, you know, you can pay for it, pay-per-view, whatever you want to call it. Here's the difference with New Mutants. It hasn't run its theatrical release, so it doesn't really fall into that category. Part two of that is there's precedent already for it. Marvel bought Artemis Fowl as part of their Fox package. Artemis Fowl was in development when Marvel bought them, so technically it's a Fox property. But Marvel has taken Artemis Fowl and has bypassed the theatrical release as well, and it's going straight to Disney Plus. So there is a precedent there for New Mutants. So one, there could be, it's not because HBO can't stream it because it's not a theatrical release. And two, it may go back to HBO after a 90-day Disney Plus. There are some interesting things about Disney Plus that of grandfathered contracts that are in place, meaning Disney Plus will show something for X amount of time and then it'll disappear off that and show on the other platforms. This is a way of Disney still having business with all these other where they just don't stream specific. That's why you notice some things fall off Disney Plus. Pay attention to that. It's very interesting. And it's a good way for them to build business and all the, it's similar with Disney Plus. You have it on there, it's off there, and then somebody else will pick it up and stream it on there. But from what I'm understanding, the HBO deal where they can stream Fox properties, or not stream, but put onto HBO proper, the cable channel, typically, you know, after its movie release for 4 or 5 months, that only applies toward theatrical releases. After it's done its theatrical run, then HBO can air it. Being that this is a whole new world now where theatrical releases are being canceled altogether and put onto streaming. So it looks like that's the loophole that Disney has found, because they've done it with Artemis Fowl. So there is precedent there that a Marvel or Disney took a Fox property and went straight to Disney Plus as opposed to going straight to there. And I'm assuming that contract may kick in after 90 days, whatever it's going to allow its Disney Plus theatrical release to stream. So I hope that answers that question. I answered it on Twitter as well. And, we're in a whole new era. I mean, we've never been in this before. At my age, I'm 40 something. I've never seen a global pandemic this wide where everybody stayed at home. It's kind of amazing. We're in kind of interesting times right now. So, all right, there's about 42 of you all in there. Thanks, Darkside Jedi, JLS Comics, for holding down the wrenches. Shout out to everybody in the live chat. Let me get right to it, boys and girls. So, as I just told you about the Ezra Miller scoop, this is from our friend Mikey Sutton. I'm going to read it verbatim. Mike does his little puns in there. All right. It all happened in a flash, pun intended. But the fallout might be felt for years. According to a source at Warner Brothers, the disturbing choking video of Ezra Miller that leaked a few days ago sent shockwaves throughout the company. I want to emphasize source in singular, as I usually don't run leaks without speaking to multiple parties, but I'm making an exception here, and this is from the words of Mikey Sutton. WB is investigating what really happened in Iceland where the video was shot. Depending on what evidence they will find, internal discussions have focused canceling the Flash movie. Many executives weren't excited about the project to begin with, but would be a way to softly reboot the DCEU. The Flash, if you watch the comics or even the cartoons, the Flash has always been kind of the MacGuffin or the mechanism that they use to reboot storylines constantly, specifically, especially in the comics. If you go, obviously you look really to, I think, wasn't Flash involved in the New 52 too? I don't know. It's always the Flash and time travel that seems to reboot the DCE or DC Comics universe. It'd be a way to softly reboot the DCEU, keeping what they liked from Zack Snyder's time with the franchise. Who knows what that could mean? With the ongoing global pandemic, I'm told the progress will be slow in regards to an ultimate decision regarding this, but there doesn't seem to be a bright future ahead of the Flash film. I briefly touched on the kind of long gestating development cycles of the Flash film and everything it's gone through. It's been, I don't think we have enough time within an hour to talk about all the different directors and writers and everything the Flash movie has gone through. So we'll keep it at that, but just go look it up. After this video post, Google Flash films and different directors and how long it's been in development. Hell now. WB is wary of keeping Miller in the role, as the bad publicity will haunt the solo film and any future appearances of him as a Flash in other films. No word yet on a Fantastic Beasts sequel. I don't know if Mikey added that in to just add salt to the wound, but there you go. I mean, you know, I don't want to make it too overly political or whatever. Either way, you don't put hands on and you want to fight with them or whatever. You're drunk. It's not good optics, especially if there's a video of it. Bad enough if it's just reports. The first thing that comes to mind is what's going on with Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, which is kind of a reverse of it, where Johnny Depp is accusing her. Shout out to my friends, Two Brothers Comics, 2 times one night. You know what? Two Brothers Comics is going to be 3 times in one night. That's right. Back to when I was like 22 years old. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Two Brothers Comics. Make sure you sub them up. They're at 666 subscribers. I would say keep that number, but they want to get off the number of the beast. I don't know why. Keeping it real, dog. Keeping it real. So there's the whole Amber Heard and Johnny Depp thing that's going on. No video on that, just reports and texts going back. There's a thing with Jeremy Renner that got pretty ugly. So, now whenever there's video and it involves the violence toward women, children, or animals, people are going to lose their stuff, especially if you're a superhero character for a comic book movie. And it's a lighthearted comic book movie at that. It's not Batman or the Dark. Not saying that, Batman and Ben Affleck could have went out and beat people up and still played Batman. But the Flash is definitely a younger character geared toward younger children, especially the movie version. But why not put Grant Austin in it? I'm just saying. Grant Austin is my Flash. I've seen him on the CW for years now, and I think he's the perfect Flash. Why not have Grant Austin just play the Flash? We've seen Ezra Miller once. Some people liked him. Some people didn't. He kind of played this skittish kind of, just seemed very unconfident with himself. I mean, the Flash at least has witty banter, and this one was he played it a very certain way, just like Lex Luthor played it a very certain way that was very specific. I can't quite put my thumb on it, but, they kind of played this. The Flash is this kind of uber nerdy kid that lacked confidence and whatnot. I understand where he's going with that, but Grant Austin doesn't. I think he has probably more charisma than I would think Ezra Miller has. That's just me. I think Grant Austin kills it as the Flash on the CW. So there we go. So shout out to Countdown Strange. For those just joining again, let me read this Ezra Miller thing. It's from a friend Mikey Sutton. This is a Mikey Sutton scoop, and I'm gonna read it verbatim. So this is coming from Mikey Sutton. So when I say I'm reading it in the first person from Mikey Sutton. So there you go. It all happened in a flash, but the fallout may be felt for years, according to a source at Warner Brothers. The disturbing choking video of Ezra Miller leaked ago sent shockwaves throughout the company. I want to emphasize source and singular, as I usually don't run leaks without speaking to multiple parties, but I'm making an exception here. Well, WB is investigating what really happened in Iceland, where the video was shot. Depending on what evidence they will find, internal discussions have focused on canceling the Flash movie altogether. Many executives weren't excited about the project to begin with, but felt it would be a way to softly reboot the DCEU, keeping what they liked from Zack Snyder's time with the franchise, which was part of the Justice League, maybe parts of Man of Steel. That's about all I can think. Batman vs. Superman, did it like that? I don't know. With the ongoing global pandemic, I'm told the project will be slow in regards to an ultimate decision regarding this, but there doesn't seem to be a bright future ahead for this Flash film. WB is wary, I cannot say that word. WB is wary of keeping Miller in the role, as the bad publicity will haunt the solo movie and any future appearances of him as the Flash in other films. No word yet on a Fantastic Beasts sequel. So there you go. What is their play? Do they try to pretend it doesn't happen and just hopefully that time will go by and they can just bring it back like nothing happened? Or do they be more proactive and just get rid of him altogether? Now, there is some precedent here, as I discussed earlier with, the New Mutants and Artemis Fowl. There's precedent there for the studios to act, but this is something that's totally different. This is something I would say, if I want to think about it, think about James Gunn, right? Some people on Twitter that he was fighting with dug up some really old tweets that he said, and they found offensive to it, and it made a lot of noise to the point where Marvel's, all right, we don't want to deal with this right now. We're Disney, so we'll just cancel. We'll just fire him for now. He went off to DC, did Suicide Squad, and then Marvel rehired him. Time kind of in the U.S. we are a very forgiving society. You know what I mean? You can kill dogs and still come back and have a job. And I'm talking about Michael Vick. So if you think about that, and I'm no Michael Vick fan, you know what I mean? I think he's total trash, but that's neither here nor there. That's my opinion. So that's why I'm saying the opinions can vary on what they're going to do with Ezra Miller. From what I've read from Hollywood Reporter, Variety, the video is real. So where they go from here is up to WB. Do they just sit on it? I mean, because right now the news cycle is so heavy on the COVID-19 pandemic that it could go two ways. There, people are so heavily focused on COVID-19 that they're going to totally forget about the story and the scoops to the side. Or certain outlets will really cling to this and really keep reporting on it because they don't want to do COVID-19 stories, because there's outlets like Variety, The Hollywood Reporter, Screen Rant, Slash Film, any myriad of YouTube channels that do comic book movie content or just movie content in general could take this and run with it. People who hate Ezra Miller personally can run with this. People who hate what he stands for, obviously he has certain things about him. So, I mean, there's a lot of things going on there. So, I'm pretty sure there's Ezra Miller fans that would defend him and say he made a mistake. He was drunk. And I can totally see that. Who hasn't done stupid shit when we're drunk? But this is the 2020. This is the age of social media. Nothing goes away. It stays there forever. You can't undelete a tweet. That tweet is stored somewhere. Someone will find it, dig it up. This video will not go away. Every time they bring up his name, thank God, if he was doing any press junkets right now for movies, it would be brought up. So for them, it'd be very curious where they want to go right now. The studios are in a shutdown period, so they may be getting tons of questions about this. So there's not much they can do about it. So they're gonna have to figure out. The next step I would think would be in Iceland is if the Icelandic police press charges, because if they press charges, it's all over. Don't care if it's getting press charges in Iceland, Timbuktu, UK, or America. You get charges put on you, that stays. So if that happens and he's charged and found guilty, I would say the Flash movie's gone. There's no way you can come back from that. If the charges are dropped or never pressed, it's up to WB what they want to do. Then at that point, they just have a PR stamp. They just have a PR thing going on at that point. They're public relations. They need to get their lawyers to get in front of this. If no charges are done, they can say he can apologize, take a course on domestic violence or something. I don't know, something like that. Put it this way, the Hollywood PR people have seen a lot worse and dealt with a lot worse. You know what I mean? They put spins on everything. So if you look at, and I'm not a DC bashist, if you look at Robert Downey Jr., oof. Hey, man, I'm just saying, I do believe they found him in somebody's house naked, passed out from getting high all night long. And then look at him now. He just did Dr. Dolittle. So you know what? We love a comeback story, but, right now, the Flash movie wasn't going to, people weren't really looking for it anyway. So I don't know how many people were marking their calendars for a Flash movie to come out. So this may be the final nail in the coffin. Tell us what you think in the comment below on what the WB should do with Ezra Miller and the Flash movie. Do you even think you should go on with a Flash movie, or just let it gestate and, continue doing what they're doing in CW, Thank you all for hanging out with me. That's a quick little update I got from our friend Mikey Sutton. Shout out to Mikey Sutton. We will see you guys in about 30 minutes, man. We got our CovrPrice top 10, so don't miss that. I'm going to have our the rest of the Lords of Longbox crew. We're going to go over the top 10 selling back issues for last week, and we got some new ones on there, and one off that list that I can finally be happy about it. So we'll see you guys in about 30 minutes, boys and girls. So until next time, keep digging in them long boxes. Peace out.